Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about the ultimate red flag. So what is the ultimate red flag? So I personally believe that the ultimate red flag is when you are with someone or you're talking to someone, you're dating someone basically who, or it could be even the case that you're interested in someone, you have a crush on someone, but basically this person is completely different from you. Like they want different things in life, perhaps they want marriage, you don't want marriage, something like that. It could be that they just, have a completely different, it could be that they just have a completely different lifestyle to you. So let's say, for example, they're a bit of a couch potato. They like to drink too much, and you're someone who's a healthy eater, and you don't. You have a good. You like to have a good night's sleep. You like to exercise. These kinds of people don't tend to mesh very well. You need to find someone who's a bit more like-minded, who values the same things as you do, who lives the same kind of lifestyle as you do. And the ultimate red flag is when you are dating someone or you like someone who is not like any of the things that you are. Because, sometimes it can work, but mostly I think it doesn't work out. I think sometimes it can be good, let's say, if like an extroverted person is with an introverted person, because the extrovert teaches the introvert to be more outgoing, and the introvert teaches the extrovert to be a bit more steady and basically a little bit more held back, basically a little bit more reserved. So sometimes the personalities can really bring out the best in people, but typically if you're too different and you like different things, and because basically what this all leads to is respect. And in a typical marriage vow there is to love and respect you. But if you don't respect your partner's lifestyle, or if your partner doesn't respect your lifestyle, so let's say, for example, they hate the fact that you're a couch potato and you don't eat the right things and stuff like that, there has to be some level of respect in a relationship. You have to respect the other person's hobbies, their lifestyles, and if you don't have that respect and you think that what they're doing is dumb, or they think what you're doing is dumb, whatever, right? Then there's just going to be no respect there, and you can't really love someone you don't respect, right? I think that kind of makes sense. It's also as well, there's a quote, I think it was Tony Robbins that said this, but we tend to like people who are like us or who we would like to be, right? So if you're with someone who doesn't, like what you do and doesn't, want to be like you, or something like that, then they're not going to respect you and they're not going to like you or love you. And it's the same for you. You need to be with someone who you want to either be like more of. For example, let's say you are a couch potato and you're dating someone who's really healthy and fit, but you secretly would love to be really healthy and fit, then you're going to have more respect for that person. So obviously something like that can work out, but it has to be you want to be like that person, or you're already like that person, right? That's, one of the things that I think is one of the ultimate deal breakers. Another thing that I want to discuss as well is you have to understand and know what your deal breakers are, because if you don't know what your deal breakers are, then you're just going to go into a relationship not really. You have to know yourself, basically, because you might not know what your deal breakers are, but you have to know what these things are. You have to know, could I stand being with someone who wants to have kids when I'm not really sure if I want to have kids? You really need to take a good, close, hard look at what you want and what's really, really important to you. And I go into this in great detail in a video called How to Attract the Right Partner. And it's a video I always talk about on my channel, but it's really, really important one, I think, to help you find someone who is more like you, who wants the same things as you, who values the same things as you, because that's ultimately what's going to lead to a happy relationship. If you want and live the same kind of lifestyles, and you're with someone who is like you, or someone who you would like to be, so they bring out the best in you. And and that's another red flag as well. If you feel like when you're around this person, it's turning you into someone you don't want to be. Perhaps they're making you angry and you don't want to be an angry person. Perhaps they make you frustrated and irritated and you don't want to be like that. That's something else you've got to look out for as well. Do they bring out the best in you, or do they bring out the worst in you? Do they inspire you to become a better person, or is it the opposite? You really need to, think about that kind of thing when you're dating someone, and when you are, falling in love with someone. You need to figure out, who is this person? Are they like me? What can I deal with? What can I live with? What can't I live with? You need to really get clear on these things, because if not, then you're not going to be in a very happy relationship. Because I feel like one of the problems that often happens is that you go on a date with someone, they're really attractive, they've got so much potential, you're fantasizing about them, and sometimes we get too hung up on our fantasies and our expectations of what this person could be, as opposed to actually facing reality and finding out exactly who this person is. Because misery is usually when we want reality to be other than what it is, and we're deciding that we're not going to face reality, and we're kind of just sitting there basically miserable because reality isn't exactly reality is not what we wanted it to be, because we fantasized about it too much, and we thought it was going to be a certain way, but it turned out to be a completely different way. And that's what creates misery. It's like, for example, when you really, really like someone and they don't like you back. Basically the pain comes from the fact that you want something, but reality is giving you something completely different. So when you do start dating someone, when you do start falling in love with someone, start having attraction for someone, you need to remain very, very skeptical before you let yourself, get too in over your head, basically, and start daydreaming too much. Because if you let your fantasies run away with you, then you could end up just in a relationship that's completely wrong for you, because you keep on fantasizing about what's actually happening instead of actually seeing what's happening in front of you. And it's just basically like an illusion, shall we say. So you need to be very clear on what it is you want. Be very definite in what you want, and then start seeking that person out. And sometimes, you may have to break a few hearts. You might be on a date with someone who is actually a really nice person, but they're just completely different from you. And they may even be really, really beautiful as well. And you might think that they're gorgeous and you want to be with them, but they're just too different from you. And you just know that this just isn't going to work out, no matter how lovely they are, no matter how good looking they are. And you might, like I said, you may break a few hearts in the process of doing this, but if you want to have the right relationship, and if you want a happy relationship, the kindest thing to do is to break away from someone who isn't right for you, who you don't think is right for you, or you're not right for them for whatever reason. Sometimes that's the best thing that you can do for someone, because then you are then free to find someone who is a right fit, who will make you happy, and they will be happy being with someone else. Sometimes you have to do that, even though it's difficult, even though it's hard, even though it's not fun, especially if you do really, really like them, and they may even really, really like you, but there's just like some deal breakers there that you can't live with. But ultimately, the ultimate red flag is incompatibility. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.